Well, just a very quick update on the DAX for tonight. Tonight is the 10th of November, Monday the 10th of November, and well, basically today has been a bit of a boring trading day. Well, if you checked our previous video that we did on Saturday, you would have noticed that today the DAX did basically everything we expected it to do right up until a couple of hours ago. So, I mean, what was that? Let me explain as you've got it on the screen right now. I'll just minimize that a bit for you to see clearly. So, okay, so there we go. Let's open up here. Well, as you could remember, what we'd forecasted, we'd actually told everyone that we'd made a new high here. Obviously, we started a new downwards trend. This was due to Draghi's press conference on Thursday. It basically came down. We formed a nice Adam and Eve figure here that was validated. We reached the lower lows. We did a double bottom at this level, double bottom that made us have the target that we expected of the 93.50, where we roughly are now. So today, basically, the DAX had a few violent moves to the downside. We actually went all the way down to the 90.20 area region. We didn't expect that at all. As you can see here, we've got, I'll just zoom out for you to see. This grey line there that you can see is the daily trend line, which is a positive trend line, as you can see. We do have a, I'll just put it there for you. Right. We do have this weekly trend line, the weekly trend. I'll just change colors so that you can actually see it properly. I'll put it in green. So this green, dark green line is our weekly trend line, which is clearly a downwards trend. We should, don't expect to really go and test it, retest it, touch it. I would have thought that we would have started our way down by now. Daily chart, well, as you can see on the daily here, we've had an upward movement. I'll just put it on H4. This is the 4-hour screen. Well, I'll just put that in red color, shall we say, for you. So here is our daily trend line. And basically, this daily trend line for the time being is holding. It's withholding the course of the DAX, as we had to kind of update it. We had actually drawn it previously, as you can see there, and we expected a break at this level here. Now, I mean, there's a bit of uncertainty in the air. There's a few figures, as you can see. If a break actually did occur here, we're kind of retesting it now at the level we are, and then should roll over and go back down in the downwards trend. Now, the other important thing that we've got on the DAX here is basically a very, very strong bearish divergence on stochastics with oversold RSI, and as such, well, this is a clear indication that this upward move should be reaching an end at this level. As you can see, since the 15th of October, we've had a clear upwards movement. We've had absolutely no bearish divergences on stochastics only up until now. This bearish divergence has been confirmed, and therefore we should see some downwards movement. So we had a few indications here that this was over, that we were going to now continue to our downwards trend. The first one was breakage of this little trend line. We're kind of retesting it. We're hovering around. We're kind of playing with it. And this strong bearish divergence stochastics that would basically push the course of the DAX into a new downwards movement like the one we had previously here, as you can see, with its bearish divergence at the top, and then bang, all the way down into the spiral downwards movement. So basically that's about it. If we go here and zoom in a little bit, well, as you can see, we had a bit of a weird movement. I mean, we're on the 15-minute time frame there. I'm going to put this trend line in a blue color for you to see. So this trend line was basically being respected quite nicely. We'd gone down, we'd made a few lows during the day, and then we were kind of hovering around it. And at this level here, this is where I expected the drop. I mean, obviously we're at the trend line. I mean, this is the 15-minute trend line, obviously. So I mean, these trends aren't very important or strong. Usually, if a breakout does occur, I mean, this doesn't mean that we're going to go to new highs at the 9,600 level. Of course not. Here, this is where I would have expected a downwards movement. This is why at this level, I mean on eToro, we had a long trade that was open in order to hedge. This was open at 9,410 area, 18 to be precise. We've closed it when we reached these highs as we were reaching this downwards trend line movement, as we did not expect to make higher highs. Nevertheless, well, I mean, we're all human. Here it went against us. We broke this little 50-minute trend line. We've kind of gone above it, and we retested this daily trend line that we'd mentioned previously here. And as you can see, I mean, it's been trying to break over this daily trend line on the 15-minute. Nevertheless, it hasn't really managed to do that at this stage. A few fake outs there, but there it's withholding. So I mean, now it's very important to see what's going to happen with the DAX in the coming hours. Well, that will be tomorrow morning now as such. Normally we should not, or I hope not, see a breakout over this daily trend line. This would put us back over it again and would mean that this was a fake out. And as such, we could see an upwards movement. If we do see an upwards movement, as previously mentioned, we had a bearish divergence here. Now, a bearish divergence, let's draw Fibonacci retracement for that. So I mean, this is a bearish divergence. We could see some kind of back upward movement up to the zero line, so around the 9464 level. Nevertheless, we cannot go above this. If we do go above this, it would invalidate the bearish divergence, which is highly unlikely considering all the signs and the intensity of this divergence. As you can see here, we made a higher high, which is basically almost at the 100 level of stochastics. And then for this other high at 9467, which represents 125, almost 130 points above, we've actually gone down to the 77 line, which takes us below the 80 line on stochastics. So this is a very, very significant and strong divergence. We've also got a pulse forming here on the LT pulse signal. This indicates that we're now kind of in consolidation, and we should expect some kind of violent movement either to the upside or the downside. Should this be to the upside, then we would re-break this daily trend line, go past above it, and therefore go and retest the zero figure, which is at the 9460 level. Should it fire to the downside, then we'd be going to the level that we expect, which is entering a new downwards movement to back down to break these lower lows at the 8,400 level to eventually continue our downwards movement down to the 8,400. Obviously, when we enter a new downwards movement, we would redraw the trend lines for this downwards movement and make sure that we maintain it nicely. So that's about it for the DAX at this level. I mean, here we've got a few indications on our synergy indication. I mean, we've still got this bearish divergence here, which is very, very strong. Nevertheless, we have re-entered above the PAC on H4. This isn't a too good signal, but then again, we're consolidating at this moment, so no volatility as such, and we will be going sideways, I expect, until tomorrow morning. Now, right, on the H1, let's have a look here. I'll try and keep it as quickly as possible. Well, H1, we're back above the PAC. This is a bit of a bullish sign. And nevertheless, I mean, this resistance that we've got here at the level we are now at the 93.45, 93.50 area is pretty strong and holding out. We'd need to see some kind of strong upwards movement like the one we had thanks to Draghi on Thursday. I mean, stats wise, I don't think we've got anything forecast this week. I'd have to double check. So as such, I would expect this to be a bit of an upwards movement like the one we've had here, with a little rollover and re-enter the PAC to go in the downward side. Well, that's about it for now. As you can mention here, this is our LT pulse firing. We're back in the overbought stochastics area. Should we go down, this would form actually a hidden divergence here, where we're making lower highs yet higher highs on stochastics. So this is a hidden divergence, which proves strength in a new downwards movement. So fingers crossed, we'll see what happens tomorrow. But for the time being, the signs are still there that we should be going to the downward side. Well, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask, and hope you enjoyed this update. Bye bye for now.